Hello!
Hello!
Welcome to A Touch of Class. Did you just realize that school year is around the corner?
Do you feel stressed, overwhelmed because that means new students, new classes and you don't have anything ready yet?
Are you panicking because you have no clue what to do on your first day of class?
Well, if you feel like that, stay with us, and on this video we will show you 4 activities on how to survive on your first day in class. Okay, our first activity is called One Pen and Two Hands. The activity implies we need a pen and 2 hands, that is my hand and my classmates. This is a very funny activity because it implies the physical contact with your classmate. You could agree with us that on the first day, teachers are not the only one to be stressed, but also students, they feel shy, they don't want even to touch their classmates. So with this activity, what we want to get is to make them feel comfortable and not to be scared anymore. So the teacher would dictate a kind of inspirational quote. For very lower levels, we would even suggest making use of the mother tongue. And I think it's interesting to dictate something that can make students reflect on their learning processes once they can read it. So, while the teacher is dictating, both the students could try and they could struggle, I would say, because obviously it's not easy. Nobody's leading the writing. The two have to write at the same time. So they have to get some kind of connection so that they are able to fulfill this activity.
That's great. That's a great idea, and I'm sure I'm going to use it in one of my classes. Okay, our second tip for the day is one that is called Spot My Lie. In this activity, students will have to work in groups, and then they will have to think about 3 phrases about themselves, but one of them has to be a lie. So the objective is the rest of the students will have to spot when is the student lying. Okay, So we can give an example.
Sure.
We can imagine that Aus is one of our classmates, and then you can say 3 things about yourself, and let's see if I can spot her lie.
Okay, it's important to be creative and original, not to use very evident things. Okay?
Common, typical.
That's it, in order to make
sentences.
it funnier. Well, Monica, I could tell you that I've been living in the UK for 2 years. I can speak 2 languages, English and French, and I can tell you that I dance flamenco in my free time, you know?
How interesting. Well, we imagine that I don't know her very much, but I only know, for example, that she's a teacher. So I would say that it makes sense that she's lived abroad for 2 years, and also that she speaks 2 languages. So I'm gonna go for the dancing flamenco. That's the lie. Let's see what happens.
I'm really sorry, but you were not able to spot my lie.
Oh no.
I dance flamenco in my spare time.
Do you? Oh my God.
So you see, students have to guess, and if possible, if we want them to use the language, they can try to use their reasons to say why they got to that conclusion.
Yeah, to justify what they are saying.
That's it.
Okay, that's great.
Right, let's move on to the third activity, which implies using a piece of paper and my classmate's back.
Okay, right.
So what we have to do is to stick, right, the piece of paper on their back. The goal of this activity would be to make students introduce themselves to the rest of the class, but let's try to make it more original and forget about traditional questions about what do you do, where do you live, etc. So students will be moving around the class, which makes the activity very dynamic. And the rest of the class could be, well, moving at the same time, but they can stop whoever they want in order to write a question on their backs. So that makes it quite funny as well, because you can see students trying to write there. It's quite entertaining. Once the activity is finished, they all sit down, they take their papers and they use their questions in order to improvise their introductions to the rest of the class. So, well, that makes it, I would say, different to say and to tell some information about them.
That's great. I mean, I think it's important as well that we remind them, no, that they should go for a bit non-typical questions.
Yeah.
So that it's even more
that's important
creative.
Too. Exactly.
Okay.
And well, in order to finish, Monica is going to give us a sweet recipe to get students to introduce themselves.
Exactly. So for our last tip for the first class, it's perfect for people that have a sweet tooth. So we're going to bring chocolate into the classroom.
Ooh,
yeah.
that's good.
So this activity is called M&Ms, and the idea is to bring a bag of M&Ms to the class, and just without saying anything else, you just pass the bag around the students, and then they have to grab a handful of them. Of course, they're going to be very happy at that moment, and it's important that we remind them that they can't eat them yet. And after that, we just go to the board and start writing all the colors included in the bag of M&Ms: green, red, brown, etc.
So what's the hidden message here?
Well, next to each color, we're going to write a topic. For example, family, or hobbies, or work, etc.
Okay.
So what they have to do, they have to talk about those topics to their classmates. So it's another way of introducing themselves. Based on the colors that they have in the bag of M&Ms. So it's a really funny activity to watch, and they have a perfect time, especially when you tell them that they've done a good job, and then they get to eat all the chocolates.
Obviously, a very interesting and sweet activity.
It is, yes. The only thing, the people that got a lot of chocolates because they were a bit hungry or greedy, maybe they might not be that happy when they see they have 12 M&Ms on the table and they have to speak for so much. But anyway,
but next time they will be offered M&Ms, they will think it twice before taking so many.
Exactly. Yes, that's right.
Okay, so that's all for today. We hope you enjoyed our video and our ideas, and it would be great if you sent us your feedback and suggestions. So what do you do in order to start the year? What do you do in your classes?
Exactly. What are your favorite ideas for the first class to break that ice? And we would like to hear your comments.
That's it.
Okay.
So that's all.
That's all.
See you on the next video for A Touch of Class.
A Touch of Class. Bye-bye.